May, will you come out to play? Your smile takes the edge off of the day, and you're a light that brightens.
This is Molly May, a Bod Pause Pod and other nice stuff with me, Molly May. Shabish! It's me, Chrissy Teigen. And today on the pod, we're going to talk about how nice and smart and pretty Molly May is. Just kidding, guys. It's me. I'm Molly. And it's okay to not be Chrissy Teigen. I mean, it's also okay to be Chrissy Teigen, but I'm Molly. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about being a big girl in a Chrissy Teigen world. Okay? Jabesh? This week, I want to spend some time talking about the song of the week, because I started my period yesterday, and it's a miracle I'm not eating in front of the microphone, right? Meow. I went real deal fucking ape shit on some McDonald's last night on my couch watching Jersey Shore. I don't know if you know this, but Jersey Shore has a reunion season right now on MTV. And they're calling it Family Vacation. And the first episode was so good that I bought the entire season on Amazon. And I really can't wait for it to progress. It was like the ultimate cramp session and like a straight remake of my life in like 2010. Only there was Rosie last night, and she literally, so like as I had the French fry box thing, what do you call them then? Whatever, the French fry thing resting on my belly, and my hand on the way to my mouth, like she must be having her period too, because she literally tried to snatch the French fry right out of my hand. And like, I mean, I hollered, right? And then laughed because like she's spoiled and she's hilarious. And I laugh every time that I holler at her. Rosie is my dog, if I'm being unclear. Just like imagining now like a friend snatching French fry out of my hand. She's a rescue dog, and she's, learning that she can't get everything she wants. So every time that I holler at her, I laugh because she just like immediately retreats to her back and like gives me her belly, and she's like, no, please, love me. But last night she was like wiggling her chin right under my chin, and it was so invasive and lovely and snuggly and apologetic and like lovely again. And she's really just like a little cherub. And who doesn't want some fucking French fries? Like I'm the monster for not offering to share with her. But we have a strict rule of no people food for the girl dog. One time my friend Emma was dog sitting her one weekend, and Emma couldn't find the food jar, even though I was like, the food jar is by the coffee pot. So because Emma couldn't find the dog food, she made her an omelet. Emma made Rosie, the dog, an omelet. And I was so mad and confused and full of absolute joy and laughter that I was just like, that's the sweetest fucking thing I've ever fucking heard in my whole fucking life. And that sentence needed all of those fucks, so you know how serious I am. Like, someone loves my someone so much that she made her an omelet. Like in college, I had a cat named Carl who was just a fuck. And when we ran out of cat food, we would just give him deli meat. And I mean, it was only for like a meal or two, but like, it's so melty in comparison, and like truly so lovely and thoughtful and generous. And just like all the glowing good words. And that's a really long diatribe just for me to go on and tell you that I have my period again. And every time I sit in front of this microphone, my gine just like starts shedding. It's like my body soaks up all the inclusive female energies of the other women podcasters in the network that use this microphone, and I'm synergistically upcycling with every single woman in Matriarch Digital Media. That's the pod company. So I'll probably cry again. Because we all like those episodes where my nose runs. So what I can't take off this week. Guys, honestly, I can't remember if I've already talked about them or not, but that just goes to show how much I love them. She got herself a pair of they're like an oversized, slouchy fit, high-waisted paper bag denim kind of situation, like 2 months ago. And I still enjoy them as I did the first day. Paper waist bag pants is wrong. Paper bag waist is like that scrunchy waist situation, usually accompanied with like a cloth belt of like the same fabric, it like comes with them. You know what I'm saying? And these are, I guess, more of like a proper high waist denim with like a pleat. So it gives the same ruching effect as the paper waist situation. I got these from ASOS Curve, obviously, and I wear them twice a week. Literally what I can't take off twice a week. Everyone at work recognizes them and acknowledges them as my magical favorite pants. And that's really a lovely thing, right? Like when your clothing gets the acknowledgement it deserves because it makes you feel magical. And that's a really lovely thing. I guess these pants, they also have like a cuff at the bottom. So it's kind of reminiscent of the photograph of the iron workers building Rockefeller Plaza in the 30s. Lunch atop a skyscraper. But then I Googled that image, and none of them are wearing the pants that I'm wearing. So, like, you get it. It's like a general vibe. It makes me want to go and thrift, like, every oversized old man pants from a suit is really what they look like. Who to follow this week? I was just sitting on my Instagram stories, and my friend Alex in the Cities came on. Her name is Alex Heidi. I've never called her Alex Heidi. She's only ever been Alex in the City. Not Alex in the country. Alex in the city. And she lives in LA now. And she was just like walking with her platinum bangs and cute ass face. And she said, like, verbatim, you ever have those days where I don't feel like I'm being enough to everybody in my life? It's one of those days. It's one of those days. And then her next story was, I went to pet a cute dog and it growled at me. Like, what do you know that I don't know? Like, I take criticisms from canines personally, just so you know. And this is like the flavor of Alex in the City, and she's just a fashion intellectual light of life. She's obsessed with fringe and sequins and posts every day about a new song I've never heard, and is the definition of inspiration and brains and beauty. And this is a friendship episode, and she is my friend, and her story today was just so relevant that the universe was just like gifting us her this week. The day that I met her, she was wearing a tank top that said dime piece with a leather bodycon skirt and sneaker wedges. So, like, yes, I'm keeping this one. And you should too. Alex in the city. The song. Oh my God, this song. I'm embarrassed a little. It wasn't my first song, since it's literally my actual anthem. But it's perfect for the week. It's perfect to get your period to. It's perfect to sit on your couch and reminisce to. It's perfect to cry to. And I'm going to get weepy and breathy and just like warning, brace yourselves. You might too. The song, Molly May by Ben Karen. If you know me, IRL, no doubt you know the song I'm talking about. And if you don't know me IRL, you probably don't believe me or won't believe the story. But I'm here to tell the truth. This song is one of those moments in life that is too fucking sweet that plays over and over in your head like an actual movie that you store in your loveliest heart vault to make you feel like $1 million when skies are gray and people are buttholes. Ben Karen, the artist, is my best friend. Ben Karen is making his living as a musician in LA and is my ultimate beacon of love and kindness and is like my constant source of spiritual inspiration and is like one of those friends that is like, come and grow with me. You know, it's like that kind of inspiring relationship. Ben and I grew up in the cornfields of Iowa together. And what started as the guy who sits next to me in English class quickly became my number one and the master planner of how we would secure a 24-pack of natural light for the weekend and whose pasture we were going to drink them in. And if you're not down with natty light, it's not like a LaCroix situation. It's like the worst cheap yellow beer that you could drink. And I loved it, and he loved it, and we all loved it. We also worked the same job at a country club as bartenders, and we drove the beer cart, which is still my favorite job, FYI. Like, we crossed the border from Iowa to Minnesota for this job. In our uniform, we were wearing Bermuda-style khaki shorts every day. Like that waffle texture burgundy polos. They were matching, boys and girls. It was very chic. And we were wearing that uniform when he first played the song for me. We were home for the summer between first and second year of undergrad, and he will tell you that he played it for me the first time the night before he left for college, because like that's the really poetic version of it. But his memory is spotty from like all the Natty Light cornfield beer bongs. But it was actually my 19th birthday, and we sat down in the milk room in our calf barn on milk pails. This is real. Like, you can't make this up. This is farm. We were sitting on milk pails across from each other in our gorgeous khaki Bermuda shorts. And he whipped out his guitar. No, he didn't. That sounded so dramatic, like he whipped it out. No, he was carrying the guitar the entire time. Like I knew the guitar was there. But in my memory, it was like the dramatic effect of like he whipped out his guitar. And then he played the best friendship anthem that I've ever heard and ever will hear. He capitalizes so poetically on my love of Judy Garland and my screw the boys, I'm just as good, ultimate femme power that I've harnessed since my Catholic school days. And he also touches on like my childhood ability to navigate the potholes on my rollerblades in Stacyville, Iowa. And it's so personal and so me and so my roots and so our friendship. And he somehow does us all within 3 minutes. It's the reflection of loving light that is so often hard to see in ourselves when we're riddled with self-doubt and crippling anxiety and panic and like this song is grounding. It pulls me back, and the song reminds me that I have a lot of fucking love to give, and the relationships that we cultivate in this world are more important than khaki Bermuda shorts. Because they're just a phase, but like those good relations, like they're around for fucking ever. So I raise my tepid can of Natural Light to you, Ben Karen. That was real. This is real. For creating this perfect little time capsule that has become so much more than a song to me. It's my joy. Thank you. Like, just fucking thank you. You should go ahead and give him a follow too, like Doi. 'Cause he's also really fucking adorable and smart. And he's really progressed as an artist since the age of 19. I mean, like, Molly May is still and forever will be my favorite. But since then, he's released, written, performed, and produced 2 albums, which are each fucking better than the last. He has 1 track on his last album, King Benjamin's Royal Heart Club, and he has a version of his song, The Light Resides in You. It's like, okay, bonus up, you're getting 2 songs. It's like, this one is too good. This song is like emotional tension and release via like Disney orchestra strings underscore. Oh my God, I just got the chills talking about it. And the first time he played this song was at the Butt Crack of Day in Palm Springs, which is my actual heaven on earth. And we were both wearing Snuggies, which we figured out that night are just robes that we wear backwards. Snuggies are just robes that we wear backwards. Like, we have been tricked forever. And he's just like, want to hear a thing? And I'm like, yeah. And then it starts. And the song is going. And I'm like, hey, what movie is this from? And he smirks. And then I hear his voice. And I died. And it's like the quality of musicianship that, oh God, it was just like such a lovely moment. 2 perfectly perfect first time listening jams. 1 in khaki Bermuda shorts and 1 in a Snuggie. Someone should give me a fashion podcast. But Ben, enjoy him as I have. Instagram at Ben Karen Creates. He just doesn't quit. He's a mad source of inspiration. And he's as cute as a clover and inhabits one of the largest spaces in my heart. He once dropped a malt on my mom's kitchen floor in high school, and he's still considered family. So that'll give you like a vibe of love. Like my mom would not tolerate anything spilling in her home, like let alone a malt that would seep in the cracks of her farm wood kitchen floor. And that was probably the same day as he sang me the song. So as you listen to the song Molly May, or maybe you fucking won't, but like I feel like now after that entire spiel, you should probably just listen to the song, right? It's out there for you. Spotify, iTunes, throw him some bucks. He's an artist. But as you listen to this song, channel your BFF and give them a text of sincerity. The kind of sincerity that makes you weepish. Because they're your people for a reason. And, don't keep your love for them in. Get special with them. Give them a note of vulnerability, right? Like, break it down. Let yourself cry just thinking about them. Like maybe you don't talk to them every day or every month. But when you see each other at a beer garden in your hometown, you pick up right where you left off and you feel like you're home. Or maybe you only talk in text. Maybe you send an Instagram DM once a month. Like however that love shakes out, however you cultivate it. Tell them thank you today and tell them why. Like why you need them, why they're your light, why they're your vibe. And it's really an amazing thing to like sit back and reflect on how our relationships shape our lives. Like our best friends get our truest selves and the first version of our truest selves, right? Like, and those long relations are so special in that they can hearken back to our growth and our roots, whether it be in like a moment of sage advice or like, Chabish, look at how far you've come. When you were in 8th grade, you wanted to drive a VW Bug and have a Bernese Mountain Dog and play for the WNBA. And look how close you are not to that goal. It's like shout out to everyone on Hotmail that had like a basketball girl, like girl spelled with a U for their email address. I mean, like I didn't because I had the wise guidance of an older sister, but every single friend I had did. And so I can like sit and get very analytical and very introspective and very weepy like I just did about the relationships in my life. Like as I'm sitting here and talking about how much I love my people, I really sound like my mother. But it's so interesting to think about like how they have affected our personality and how they've affected my interests and how they've raised me, right? Like they had a hand in raising me. It wasn't just my parents. It was those relationships, those people that I was around, those people that let me be me. But I want to shift focus a little bit and talk about what it's like to be friends with a big girl and how every insecurity that I have ever played out in my head for my life has never once come out of my friends' mouths. How they have never treated me as less than. Like, I'm not beating around the bush and saying that people haven't treated me like shit or made me feel less than for being a big girl. I'm saying that my friends have not. Like, I've received text messages that are like, hey, you're fat, like as a means to put me down. Or like weird backhanded compliments that are like, yeah, you dance well for like a big girl. But my friends have never done that. I've talked before about how Emily Eaton was the real life beacon, like bikini clad knight in shining, like two-piece, and like my first chosen adult friend. And how Vag Wolf essentially has the girl gang equivalent of the sisterhood of the traveling pants in our matching club jackets. When I went home for a fundraiser in my neighboring hometown and wore a mesh midriff bodycon dress situation in like, I think it was like 2013. So like it was right when I was really trying to explore and like break out into like, I want to wear what I want to wear. I had my girl Molly with me, and I had brought other dress options home for this fundraiser. It was adult prom. And my girl Molly just looks at me and says, yes, this is the only option. You look so cool. I want to know you. Right? Like, she knew inside that I wanted to wear that mesh midriff bodycon dress. She also knew that I was afraid to wear that because of what people might say about my body. But she held my hand and gave me the confidence and said, fuck those guys, to the haters that said shit behind my back. And that kind of thing has been cultivated and recycled over and over again in these friendships that make me so weepy. Oh my God. That it's just become ingrained in me. And now I don't need Molly to hold my hand to wear what I want to wear. I mean, like, it's more fun when she does. But, like, now the outfits are just getting bigger and better and brighter and dairier. Dairier. That's accurate, too. Dairier and dairier. Also, like, yes, my friend Molly is one of my best friends. And she's, like, been brought up before, and she'll be brought up again and forever. And I realize, like, how that can be confusing because she's also tall and smart and gorgeous, and we're basically just walking synonyms of each other. So I suggest that you go find your Molly. Never met a Molly I didn't like. So what I'm saying is that this feeling fucking glowy and comfy and, like, really fucking loving yourself isn't just a relationship with yourself. It's a relationship with your others. It's one of those relationships in your circle of friendships, right? Like, you need to consider yourself a friend. And the space that is created when you take a second, or at least like when I take a second to sit with myself as a friend and look in the mirror. So my friend Cass Bauer, who started the company Level Up, which is like she's a moment creator and just like this spiritual mastermind, is the first person that and told me to do this exercise. And it's the first time that I had ever seen someone do it. It's so easy. It's just, it's not easy, but the concept is easy. You sit in front of a mirror and you say your own name and you say, I love you, over and over and over and over and over again. And there's something that happens when you say your own name. Molly, I love you. And to look at your own face and to talk to your own reflection and accepting your own friendship. Like, there was such a monumental thing for me. And like how that process broke down was like, Molly, I love you. I was like, no, Molly, I love you. Molly, I love you. And it's a thing. Try it. You have to try it. And that relationship with ourselves, it changes and it ebbs and it flows, right? Like it's a real relationship, and it's the most precious, longest relationship that we will ever have. And I can tell you that as a plus size woman, I did not always like this relationship. I looked down on myself for eating too much yesterday, or like looking fat in a photo. God, looking fat in a photo. Shut up already. So this is the point that I'm trying to make. Your friends will look back at the same photo, the one that your internal monologue is just, God, I look fat in this photo. My arms are big and yada, yada, yada. They'll look back and likely say, God, that day was awesome. We rented that convertible and Mern drove us around with her boobies out. And for me, it's like, how are we showing up, right? Like, how are we being present in our relationships? And if we're sitting in our heads going, oh my God, I look fat, we're not being present. And the way that we speak to ourselves versus our friendships is a really interesting dichotomy. So like, think of your best friend right now. Shut your eyes. Picture them. Your best friend. Now, say to them, you look really fat today. Why did you eat all of that McDonald's last night? You need to do better today. And if you are a human with a heart, you can't do that. Like, you can't get through that. You cannot have Ben Karen in your head and you saying, why did you do that? You need to be better today. Like, you would not be that unkind to that person. They are your heart. I can't even fathom putting them down that way. And that's the kind of relationship, right, that we need to have with ourselves. Like, I can't fathom putting myself down like that. Like, it takes practice. And obviously, like, we'll always be self-critical. It's human nature. But the way that we talk to ourselves is so fucking important, and it can change your life. It's like the way that I started responding to myself. And also, like, the adverse of that example that I just gave, the photo bit, like, where if you're looking at a photo of your friends, like, if you are the friend that's looking at a photo and saying, whoa, like, Sasha looks big in that pic, like, that is not her angle. Like, shut the fuck up. Stop being unkind. Change your fucking narrative. Grow the fuck up and get out. You're a bad friend. Don't be that kind of poison. So honestly, that's all I can say about that is be your own friend and change your narrative. Change your narrative internally and see what happens externally. There's no like tincture or magic potion you can drink to make this happen quickly. I have been engaging my thoughts in a corrective behavior for 6 years. Actively, like, realizing my internal monologue and being like, I'm poisoning myself, and I'm really shitty. And like, I knew that I wasn't talking well to myself, but I think really I took a hold of that narrative and was like, I'm not even gonna, I can't even let that kind of language in my brain for like only a year. And so it's not anything that happens quick, and it's a struggle. And you can do it. Like, we can all fucking do it, and we have to do it. And your friends will help you. And I'll help you. And I love you. Bye, bitch. And if you got this far in the pod, I'm impressed as fuck and really grateful to have you listening. If you want to know more information about me or the show, check out the show page on matriarchdm.com, where we host all of the What I Can't Take Off, our progressive Spotify playlist from the songs of the week, And obviously the reminder of who to follow for the week, all in a nice little fucking Matriarch Digital Media bow. Theme song is Molly May by Ben Karen. Like, I'll never get over saying that. It's so good, right? Thanks for listening. You're so cute.